Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Raila Odinga's campaign secretariat is under attack. And I just wonder why all of a sudden at the end of the Supreme Court hearing, people seem to have realized and are now pointing figures they believe or individuals they believe might have bungled Raila Odinga's campaign. But let me take you back a bit. Immediately after Wafula Chebukati announced William Ruto as the president-elect, there was an emerging attacks on Raila Odinga's campaign secretariat on who exactly bungled Raila's campaigns. And after that, we then see Junet Mohammed taking a low profile from Azimio activities and meetings, even though he was the Secretary General of the coalition. And I have just been so keen to follow some of these things that have happened during the voting process and all that. And if you're keen, if you follow the affidavit by Raila Odinga's campaign team on what transpired in Bomas of Kenya, and if you followed Bomas of Kenya, Junet Mohammed and Hassan Joho were in Bomas, I think the 10th of September, a day after the election, when they went to the Bomas of Kenya. They had a short stint there. Then again, Junet and Joho appeared in one of the parliamentary caucus meeting that I think was chaired by Martha Karua and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And in that meeting was not attended by Raila Odinga. But if you've been following keenly, you'll realize that Junet Mohammed took a low profile. And the question that we kept on asking is, where was Junet Mohammed? But that seems not to have really gone well, because even Hassan Joho, who is the deputy party leader in ODM party, despite of the fact that he's one of the vibrant politicians and will really be seen in making very big impacts on in the campaign trail, he was not so much, he did not play an active role even in Abdul Swamad Nasir campaigns in Mombasa. And the last rally that Raila Odinga held in Mombasa, I am not yet sure, you can confirm to us whether Joho attended, but I can confirm that Junet Mohammed never attended the meeting in Mombasa, the rally in Mombasa. He also never attended the rally in Kakamega, because Raila Odinga convened the two rallies to campaign for the two ODM governor candidates that were campaigning over there. And Junet Mohammed was nowhere. Hassan Joho would later be seen coming out to celebrate the victory of Abdul Swamad Nasir. But something that you need to note is that Hassan Joho also went out the night that Abdul Nasir was to be announced the winner and made a call to Raila Odinga, and Raila Odinga spoke to the residents of Mombasa through phone in the night, just congratulating them for voting Abdul Swamad Nasir. So this has been going on, and one thing we have to say is that, of course, Joho is back. At least there is a bit of visibility because he was also the president, but Junet Mohammed has been missing in action. Now, Junet Mohammed it's known that is one of the person that was really behind Raila Odinga's campaign, and there was a machinery behind Raila Odinga. After Supreme Court proceedings yesterday on Friday, that is the 2nd of September, there were also some attacks emerging. And this was raising, well, most of them were raising genuine issues on the agents issue that were underfunded. Their call is a bit legitimate. Their call for, and they have been calling for Junet Mohammed to exit the campaign secretariat. They also mentioned George Njoroge, who was in charge of the ICT, to also exit the space. Elizabeth Mayo was also called out. I think also Nderitu Murithi was also called out, and this was coordinated in Twitter. So if you've been following, and for the avoidance of doubt, I want you to follow the Twitter pages of these politicians. Also, maybe follow Robert Lai, follow Babu Owino, Simbarati. There have also been Gladys Wanga that have also been doing something, trying to come on defense of Raila Odinga's campaign secretariat. And there was a tweet by lawyer Donald Kipkorir, it's Lord Mutai, and a couple of them. Now, there is something that you need to look here, that they've been calling for this campaign secretariat to be abolished and them to exit the office. Very legitimate call, I want to repeat, but the timing is a bit skeptical. Why now? And if there's supposed to be a rerun, then what exactly is it going to do? Because at this moment, I want to agree with the bit of some members of Azimio la Umoja that insist that if they really mean well for Raila Odinga, I think it's the time to stay together. Many have lost their seats. Nderitu Murithi was going for governor in Laikipia. He lost that seat. He was on Azimio la Umoja campaign trail and wasn't one of the key people. Liki Nyanjui lost Nakuru, was in Azimio la Umoja. And there are a couple of many other politicians in Mount Kenya that lost, even outside Mount Kenya that lost, but in Azimio la Umoja. And so Raila Odinga is also part of that team. So I don't think this is something that is in good faith. But having looked at it, I would just want to open to you a lead, because of course I am home. I've been trying to, I was home, so I've also been talking to some few people on what exactly is happening. And I think there are members of the political divide, people who are active that are asking, really, I've been receiving questions, Kevin, what exactly is happening? So I want to open for you the lead so that you can have an understanding on what exactly we are actually dealing with, because this is running out of hand. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly subscribe to our channel. If you can realize, the best place that I normally like, even shooting videos, is back home. You know, it's a very green background. Unaenda shambani asubuhi, unatoka shambani, then you can produce your video. Life is just good, nice here. So ukiwa hapo nje, it's good that you get home. And by then I need to tell you, kwamba your parents back home here needs manure and fertilizer. Your parents need fertilizer here, so make sure umetuma pesa fertilizer so that your parent can buy fertilizer apande. Yeah, watu wanakomo, ndio wanasema wanakomo. Last 2 days of Sarah Dieno's fundraiser, medical fundraiser, we are chasing approximately 50,000. Someone has challenged me, we should now chase 60 so that Sarah can also get something more. Yeah, we are chasing now 50,000 to the wire so that we can finish Sarah Dieno's fundraiser. I am reaching out to you guys for the next 2 days. If we chase the 50,000, we'll be in a position to bring this home. We are going to remove Sarah on Tuesday. Of course, we start the process on Tuesday, but she might come out on Wednesday. And what are we saying? She's one of our subscribers, and we've been running a fundraiser here. We are now to the end of it, coming to the end of it. Cumulatively, we have managed to pay 829,000, including an insurance cover of 150,000. So we remain the balance of 215. And in the same spirit, we pushed it further with 15 more days. That is ending on 5th September. That is on Monday, the day the verdict is coming out. So the last mentions will be done on Monday. And I want to reach out to us, guys. Let's just finish it kindly. Just at least 50 shillings contribution will come through in aid of Sarah, so that she can come out of hospital, tumpeleke nyumbani, in high spirit, in celebration. And the members of Team Bold, I want to reach out to us that we get out and go. For those of us who are willing, nataka tutaenda, so that tuende na home, and we'll just thank the Lord for the big achievement to us. So kindly contribute. The number is up there, 0710 62 78 89. And Thank you. Asante sana. I'm just thinking on her behalf. When she'll be out, I know we are also going to have an interview and she's going to tell us more. Asanteni sana for those who have come out in a special way. Thank you very much. Asanteni. Today, I just feel like this is going to be a big achievement. Now, there are political realignments and people are looking for avenues of crossing over. And you need to, and oh, I should not mention the name. You need to understand something, that at this critical time, there are people who are crossing over to Kenya Kwanza. Politicians are crossing over. Even supporters, some of them are crossing over, who are faint-hearted. We have people who are now taking alternative routes. And these alternative routes are meant for political survival. So maybe some of those calls are legitimate. They're simply saying that if we are going to call for a rerun, then we should not go with the same secretariat, which personally I also support. But if you want to help Raila, I don't think when you go to Twitter and the social media and just explode it out, it's more of also attention seeking. You get your followers and you get your supporters, but it might not achieve its objective, because the largest consumers of that onslaught is actually the general public and Raila Odinga supporters. So I see that as a legitimate call. I agree that if there is to be a rerun, then Raila Odinga must and should make sure that the Secretariat is disbanded, so that he forms a new dream team. It's advisable so. But this call are just people who are now setting up grounds to cross over to the other side. And of course, just a ground that maybe we warned you and this didn't see the light of the day. But then, if I speak to a couple of the influencers that are on both sides of political divide, and one thing I can tell you is there is need for coordinated situation management team to reduce the hopes. This situation management is just to manage expectations of people. Now, to my understanding, some of the people Raila Odinga's team can be infiltrated. And it can be infiltrated to manage the situation. If you look at yesterday, the videos that emerged of Raila Odinga's lawyers meeting with Raila and Martha Karua and exuding confidence and some mini celebrations and just showing the public that they are confident that the truth has been told in the court. Now, that is something that really sends shivers on political opponents. And it's a possibility that Raila Odinga's influential team Raila Odinga's secretariat is also infiltrated. And this could be infights that are emerging from the same secretariat. This is something that you can see. And so as you digest, or rather as you listen to each side of the political divide, it is also prudent that you get to understand what exactly we are dealing with. But then, I would be so wrong if I don't point out that there could be gross financial issues touching on Raila Odinga's campaigns. I remember the Azimio La Umoja Secretariat offices is in Lavington. And at some point after Wafula Chebukati announced the results, there were information that were coming out, leaking out there, that some of these influencers were not well funded. For avoidance of doubt, I am not part of that team. For us, we do our work, we stand in our space because ours we get YouTube ads. So there were gross financial issues that were arising, that some bloggers were feeling that they were not paid, or there was money that was to be catered for communication. And actually it's about the communication. So the communication funding, to some extent, there are elements that had a feeling that it was infiltrated, it was misappropriated, and it didn't go well. Now, these are also some of the elements that will come out and castigate the Secretariat. But then someone needs just to find out in that Secretariat who was in charge of communication. And you can just look at how it goes. Is it a coincidence that these attacks on Joho and Junet are coming in the wake of the Supreme Court pitch? The Supreme Court pitch by Azimio was to overturn Ruto's win. And maybe people are feeling they're trying to speculate that verdict from Supreme Court might not go Raila's way. And so they already want to create that perception and deflate the expectations. These are all other possibilities that might be creating the infight within Azimio la Umoja. And the biggest thing is that at this point in time, Kenyans have moved on. Kenyans have moved on, unless something happens, and maybe then Supreme Court makes a verdict, and Kenyans are then supposed to go to rerun. Everyone will go back to factory settings. I can tell you. I listened to Gatundu, I think it's Gatundu North MP elect or South, who was saying, I think it's Gatundu South, it could be North, who said that he's only supporting William Ruto because he's president-elect. If Supreme Court nullifies and people go to a rerun, he'll actually change his stand. By now, what stopped someone from just crossing over and now saying, I support Raila or I support so-and-so? It's highly possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my bold analysis on this. And you can also get to us and tell us, what do you think is exactly happening in Azimio la Umoja Secretariat?